Yo, what's up guys? It's Dustin. Finally, my most highly requested video of all time. I'm gonna be going over absolutely everything that goes into scaling info products, everything I know from the past 6 years of doing info products. Look at the size of this Miro board that I put together. Guys, I literally spent hours doing this. I have my whole closing sequence. I have absolutely everything that goes into building a landing page, setting up a Clickfunnels, setting up a CRM. Everything that goes into building and scaling the back end of an info product is in this video. I'm gonna cover all of it right now. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video and let's jump right into it. Not gonna waste any time. So starting out, we're gonna go all the way over here to the very start. If you guys don't know, I already have a full video showing how I acquire clients. This is gonna be growth operating style, so exactly how I find clients to partner with and build out the back end and run up their info products. So I already have a full hour plus long video showing how to acquire clients. This is pretty much the second part of that video showing after you actually do acquire the clients, how do you run them up? How do you make the money? So if you guys want to watch that video, I would watch that one first, but this is how to actually build and scale the back end of an info product. So quick background on myself, just want to kind of give a rundown so you guys know that I know what I'm talking about. I'm not just making this stuff up. I've been building, launching, and scaling info products for 6 years since I was literally 14 years old. I originally started with the Discord space. If any of you guys have any knowledge on reselling, you would know what cook groups are, which is basically a group that would tell you when limited sneakers were releasing so you could resell them. That's literally how I got my intro into info products. Fast forward a few years, I ended up growing my own personal Discord to 125,000 members. It was called Business Cord. Most of that growth was in the span of 4 months using only commission-based affiliates. Ended up exiting that. And then after I did that, I started a Discord funnel build-out agency and generated over $300,000 in profit just from setting up Discords, literally just Discord upfront setup fees. That's it. I've worked with Discord communities doing combined $10 million a month in revenue. Again, like I said, Discord was mostly my main thing up until a couple years ago. I also created and launched a software paired with all the Discords that I operate, which is still up and running. I transitioned into working with creators and building out both low ticket and high ticket info products. That was around when I exited my Discord about 2 years ago. That's when I really started working with creators and I realized, damn, it's a lot easier to just partner with people that already have the marketing down. So that's also around when I began working with my two primary clients, doing 400 to 500K a month and 200 to 250K a month. I've talked about both of these offers in a previous video. I'm not going to get too much into it. And then recently, just a few months ago, I opened a mentorship program where I pair creators that I close with my mentees to utilize all my inbound leads rather than just turning down all these leads I'm getting because I can't work with them personally because my two main clients do take most of my personal time. I've hosted multiple 100-person pay-to-access networking events with individuals in the space. You guys can see this on my Instagram as well. Super dope stuff. And I'm currently doing over $120,000 a month in personal profit from my two primary clients, my 20-plus mentees, and because of the mentees, I have minority rev share in over 30 creators that I keep from the creators I give to my mentees. So there you go. That's a quick rundown, my story in like 1 minute. And anyhow, let's get into the sauce. So defining the service, growth partner, growth operator, IPGA, whatever you want to call it. There's so many different terms for the business model, but essentially it's an all-in-one service. You're replacing the need for a copywriter, a funnel builder, an email guy, a VSL guy, a sales team manager, etc. The whole point is you manage all of it in one and you just take a percentage and it's super duper simple. So again, quickly how the business model works if you're unfamiliar. All you're doing is partnering with a creator. You're partnering with someone that has a massive following and you're basically just building out an info product, some sort of course, mentorship, whatever it is, for them to sell to their audience, and you're just managing the back end. It's pretty simple, but the reason the business model is so lucrative is because you're working with someone that already has the entire back end down. They already has all the marketing down, and then you're simply running up the back end. So expectations from the creator, literally just pushing the social media traffic into the funnel that you build, which is the marketing, building social proof on all platforms, so being active on all these platforms will just really up your conversions. And then optional but very lucrative, Instagram and TikTok lives. I'm gonna get into all the social media side of stuff in here as well. I have literally a full sequence that I have my creators run up and like exactly how many times they should post per day on what platforms. I have all of that in this video. And then of course, run one-on-one coaching calls for high ticket or weekly group coaching calls for low ticket. So basically, they need to run the calls on the fulfillment side. But that's literally all that's needed from them. All that can be broken down to is running the calls and doing the marketing. That's it. Everything you take care of, the entire back-end setup of systems and infrastructure, so that's CRMs, automations, payment processing, financing, all of that bullshit, you cover all that. Creating a welcome sequence and pushing weekly emails to the subscriber list, complete build-out optimization, refining of lead magnet, funnel, scripting VSL, landing page. Again, you're building out the whole website, you're building out the lead magnet, all of that stuff. The only thing is, you're scripting the VSL, but they have to record the VSL as well. Managing the social media, which basically means setting up ManyChat automations, hiring or training a setter if you're putting a setter on their Instagram account or whatever it is. Customer support, so onboarding students, dealing with people that want refunds, whatever it is, you handle all of that. Sales team build out management, again, pretty much what I said before, just if you need a setter or a closer, you're the one that hires, trains, puts that person on. Full offer positioning, build out and structuring, this is the biggest thing. You have to be able to look at their audience, look at their profile, and come up with an irresistible offer for them to sell. Deliverable, build out and structuring, back end, community, if it's a low ticket, you got to build out a community, all of that stuff. And then the organic content machine, which is what I was talking about earlier, a specific plan for them to post on their social media. All of this I cover in this video as well. So guys, this is literally the only video you're ever gonna need when it comes to running up an info product. I cover everything. So if it sounds like a lot, it is. The business model is all about building a strong team to outsource the work that you would normally have to do so you can scale with the knowledge and experience you possess. Guys, I'm at the point where the main thing I get paid for is being able to look at a creator and know exactly what kind of offer to sell. It's mostly just knowledge based, okay? I'm not the guy sitting there building landing pages or any of that stuff anymore. I just have the knowledge and I get paid for my knowledge. So the most important thing is let the creator market, okay? The point of your role is to take as much off the creator's back as possible so that they can focus completely on marketing. You don't want them doing anything else but marketing. You want to take as much of that away from them as possible. So now we're going to jump into it. So this is the exact sequence, the exact order I go in, starting from onboarding the creator to building everything out to actually launching it to scaling the systems with sales teams and all that stuff, like literally everything. So starting off with onboarding. So when you onboard them, you have to get them on contract. I don't care if it's your friend. I don't care if you know them. Everything needs to be on contract. Even if the contract is a fucking template, it's not valid, whatever. It's just so you both know each other's roles in the business. Okay, so you need them on contract. And then, so you do an onboarding call to sign the contract and get as much info as possible. This is going to help you set everything up. So you need to know exactly what their current setup is. So what they're selling right now, if they're selling anything. So that way you can position the offers you want to build out accordingly. Everything they know about their niche and content style. So obviously anything that goes into the business model that you can incorporate into an info product, it'll help you a lot. Knowing a lot about their niche, so that way you're able to create an offer that makes sense. Everything about their demographic and who their viewers actually are. So any demographical data, I'm about to get into this as well. So you got to know if they're from India or if they're from the US, because of course that matters a shit ton when it comes to creating an offer and pricing it. And then what people are requesting from them in DMs. This is one of the biggest overlooked things. But guys, if you look at a creator's DMs, oftentimes you're going to see exactly what people would want in an info product because everyone's requesting and asking for it. So pretty simple. Next, pre-launch setup. Okay, so this is setting up everything, the landing page, the CRM, a community if you're going to do that, type form, all of that. This is everything that goes into the pre-launch setup before actually launching it. Okay, here's the most important thing. You must always be delivering action steps to the creator. If they don't constantly have something to work towards, then they will fall off. Even after launch, once everything is set up, you can give them KPI targets to hit for posting on social media, but they always need something. Guys, here's the beautiful thing about this business model. Wait, let me full screen this real quick. And I have mentees talk to me about this all the time, but most of the work, first of all, the hardest part is getting the creator in the first place, okay? Which, like I said, I have a full video on how to do that. The hardest part is that, and then after that, it's setting everything up, which ideally you want everything set up within a week of signing the creator. All you have to do is, make a landing page, community. I'm about to get into all of it. You set all that up, and then you launch it. And then once it's launched, there's really not that much that has to be done. And I have a lot of people that come to me like after it's launched and say, like, okay, what can I be doing? Like, what should I do now? And it's like, the money kind of just comes in now. Obviously, you scale it as it goes. Like, you might have to hire a closer, a setter, like at volume, whatever it is. But deep down, most of the work is already done. And then once you launch, it's more about maintenance. And the thing is, it can be difficult because a creator could look at it and be like this guy's not doing shit. Why am I giving him X percentage? So you need to be constantly giving them KPIs, having a weekly call with them, making sure you're still keeping up to date with them, even though once everything's launched, you really don't have to do anything else after that. Anyhow, so getting into this. Usually after the closing call, I'll send them over a clear roadmap before starting anything. Here's an example roadmap of one of my mentees delivered to a creator I gave him. Obviously, you can see massive, just like showing every little, I don't want to show exactly what the funnel is, but showing every single little detail. And it just really helps them visualize it and see, damn, this guy's going to be doing a lot of work. So you need to show that. So launching the offer itself. We'll start off over here with payment processing. Payment processing and how you get paid. Everyone always asks me this, like how do you split it off? How do you make sure the creator pays you, whatever it is? First of all, I use the processor Fanbasis. You guys can use any processor. I think WAP does pretty much the same thing. I use Fanbasis though. How I do it, all the money just goes into one account. You control the account, so create it before you launch it, so you control that so they can't just kick you out. And then you just split it out, either bi-weekly or monthly, however you want to do it. I usually just do monthly, and you just disperse it based on the percentage. It's pretty simple. This platform also has financing for high tickets, so I don't know if you guys know this, but this basically means that someone can split a multi-$1,000 program into just a couple $100s per month. And when they do that, they're paying off the couple $100 per month, but you get paid the entire high ticket amount in full. So it's absolutely massive for scaling high ticket offers. I'm about to get more into that as well. Now, the CRM side. Some of you guys are gonna hate me for this. First of all, everyone's always asking what CRM I use, what CRM do you use, because everyone always uses a different one. Like it's not like every single person uses the same CRM. Everyone's always using different ones for different reasons. And I want you guys to know this is not crazy important early on. You're not going to need crazy organization until you've proven the offer first. It starts doing volume, and then you need to organize it with setters and closers and all that bullshit. But to give you guys an example, if you're not doing insane volume and you're not trying to scale it to that level, just like my mentorship program, you can use Go High Level, you can use Close, whatever. I actually use Notion for my CRM. So I have my mentees, I have like cards made for each mentee with exactly where they're at and that sort of thing. All the information I need, and I have it on Notion. So I actually use Notion as my CRM. It's completely free. I haven't even seen anyone else do that before, but it's easier for me just because I use Notion for pretty much everything. So of course I'd prefer my own program to be on Notion. So that's something interesting. But yeah, any of those CRMs are fine. It's not super important. I think honestly Close is probably the best one at scale. But if you're just running a small one, bro, you're just doing whatever, use Notion, man. No problem using Notion. So creating the winning offer. Here we go. There's 3 type of offers you need to be aware of: low ticket, mid ticket, and high ticket. Low ticket and high ticket are going to be the ones I'm mostly talking about because they're the most important. Mid ticket doesn't really come until scale. So you do not need to work with people that don't sell info products. This is the biggest thing I see with this business model where people go wrong, is they're trying to find the gem creator with 1 million followers that doesn't sell anything, and they think they're just going to sell an info product to their audience and everyone's going to buy because they've never sold anything before, which is the case, except you can almost never find someone that hasn't sold anything to their audience. And here's the thing, if you do find someone, they're likely outside of the biz op space. In the biz op space, anything biz op, anything having to do with making money online, those offers always do better than like a fitness program or something like that. So that's the trade-off there, but there is a solution. I pretty much only work with people that are already selling some type of offer. This is what I do. All you do is identify what they're already selling and just fill the gap. So for example, if they're selling a high ticket program, say it's $5,000, all you have to do, you build out a low ticket to downsell their unqualified leads. If they have a high ticket, they have a type form, whatever it is, I guarantee they're also getting hundreds of people that can't afford that, but could maybe afford a $100 community. You know what I mean? And then it's the same thing vice versa. If you're selling a low ticket, this is even better because if they're selling a low ticket, they have a bunch of people already paying for a service, $100 a month, whatever it is. They have all those people that could easily be upsold into a high ticket program because they want to learn more. They want to keep working with this person. They like the service they already got for $100. So you can really easily just go in, build out a type form, high ticket program, and upsell every single person in that low ticket. It's so easy. I'm about to get more in depth into that as well and how I do it because that's kind of my main strategy right now. So like I said before, I found that mid ticket is not really needed until scale. Focus on low and high ticket, and that's what I'm mostly covering here. So things to consider when you're pricing the offer: region, age, and platform. These are the main things. Okay, these are 2 very, very extreme examples. So we'll start with low tickets. So let's say the region, actually just compare these 2 first. Region India versus USA. Obviously US is gonna have way more qualified buyers, people with way more money. The age range, obviously the older they are, the more money they're gonna have, so it's better if they're older. And then the platform they come from, TikTok, YouTube. This is the biggest thing people overlook, is people coming from TikTok. Even if someone has 100,000 followers on TikTok, someone on YouTube that's getting 1,000 views a video can be making way more money. Simply because people on TikTok, Instagram, like they're just scrolling, they might come across a video, but their dopamine is fried, whatever it is. Whereas YouTube, it's completely different. People are usually searching for a specific topic, and even my YouTube analytics, when I look at them, majority of people are watching on like a computer or something. No one's just scrolling on their phone and finding it. Everyone is finding it with intent because they're already looking for it. So YouTube is just way better than Instagram, TikTok. So a lot of the creators I'm working with now, I'm just looking for people on YouTube. So we'll start with a low ticket example though. And this is not to say you can only make a low ticket if they're on TikTok or Instagram or whatever it is. This is just an extreme example. So low ticket offer. Usually it's higher maintenance and harder to set up. Pricing, this is usually how I price it, either $97 or $197 one-time fee. Either I'll do that or I'll do a monthly between $20 and $100 a month. Platform, either school or Discord. All that's included is weekly group calls, some sort of course or consumable. It doesn't have to be anything massive. And then if it is MRR, meaning if it is a monthly recurring subscription rather than just one time, then you need something in it that's updated frequently. An example I would give you is, say it's a drop shipping Discord or something like that. You should be dropping a few winning products every week, something that gives people something to look forward to. So as far as the actual platform, Discord versus school, which one should you use and why? So here's a quick comparison of the two. Discord, it's much more customizable, more complicated. There's bots, all of that. And then you have school, which is an extremely simple setup, and there's not a ton of customizability. Here's how I choose between the two. If the group has a one-time fee, it likely doesn't have a ton of content in it. So in that case, I would choose school. And when I say a ton of content, I mean like something that needs to be consistently updated. School is more of a course hosting platform than it is a community, so just keep that in mind. And if the group has a lot of information, which usually means MRR, so it's some sort of monthly subscription, like I said before, maybe it's a drop shipping server and you drop products in there every week, whatever it is. If it's something like that, then I would stick with Discord. Now, a lot of you guys always ask me how to set up Discord. First of all, it's compatible with WAP and Fanbasis, whatever processor you want to use, it'll connect to it. So that way, you know, when people buy it, they automatically get a role in the Discord. They can see the private channels. When they cancel, they lose the role. It's pretty simple, but all of those connect with it. Now, creating and editing channels is super simple. I'm going to be super quick with this. I just want to show you guys these permissions because everyone is always asking, how do you set up a Discord? They think it's like some super complicated thing, but it's just not. So you need to be aware of 5 permissions. Here we go. These are the 5, okay? So as far as creating channels, all of that, like it's super, super simple. You literally click the plus and you create a channel, and then you click the plus in the role settings to create a role. That's it. But these are the only permissions you need to be aware of when it comes to actually making, I think this is actually 6. I think I said 5, but this is actually 6. So these are the only ones you need to be aware of. View channel, obviously this is who can view it, so you need that. Sending messages, this is the difference between if you have an announcement channel or a chat channel, you need to choose if they can send messages. Creating public or private threads. These are the 2 main things that are overlooked. This can get your server rated so quickly because people can create a thread even in a channel that they're not allowed to talk in and just completely fuck up your server. So always keep these 2 off. And then besides that, all you need is add reactions. If you want people to be able to use reactions on their messages, and then reading message history, if people can join the server and then go back and see messages before they join. Those are the only permissions you need to be aware of. Creating channels, all that is very fucking simple. Okay, now the high ticket offer. So the example I gave, region, USA, age 21 plus, platform, YouTube. Like I said, this is an extremely high quality audience. Everyone underestimates how high quality a YouTube audience is. So here's what a high ticket offer looks like. It's always much easier to set up, but you can hit a ceiling with fulfillment very, very quickly, which is where the mid-ticket offer comes in. I'm about to explain. But here's what it usually looks like. Between 2 and 8K up front, it's a direct one-on-one with the creator, either that or group coaching calls, whichever one they want to do. A lot of people don't want to do one-on-ones, that sort of things, in which case you can do group coaching calls. And it usually includes some sort of time frame. So for example, it would be like 4K for 3 months or something like that. And it needs some sort of no-brainer guarantee. So a guarantee is the most important part. You don't need closing skills. You don't need a complicated sales process. All you need is a no-brainer guarantee, an offer where you give it to someone and they're like, damn, it just makes sense. It makes perfect sense with the amount you're charging. Like it just makes sense. It's a no-brainer, quite literally. So besides low ticket and high ticket, the only 3 things to consider are a potential mid-ticket offer, a potential software upsell, and a potential time frame upsell. So like I just said, time frame is super simple. If you have a time frame for your offer, say for example it's 3 months, you can also just upsell them when the time frame expires. So this is always cheaper than the original upfront cost, and it literally just extends the time frame. So if you charge 4K for 3 months, then you could charge 2K for another 3 months. Like, it's that easy. You do not need to complicate a time frame upsell. Next is a software upsell. This is where it starts to get a little bit more complicated. So this comes later down the line, but can be an extremely good upsell. Like literally like 90% of people could take this if you pair some sort of software that's perfectly congruent with your offer. So for example, for my offer, I don't have anything like that, but if I did, I could have a software built out that scrapes social media and finds potential creator leads to reach out to. Just an example I thought of randomly. And then you can either charge one-time fees, so like 500, 1,000, or you could do MRR like 90 bucks a month or 100 bucks a month. Just a few examples. But a software upsell is extremely lucrative, and then you're also building something that you could potentially exit later because you can't really sell an info business, but a software, you definitely could. Now, lastly, a mid-ticket offer. So this is usually only needed when you need to raise the prices of a high ticket because you're taking on too many customers. Which then, when you raise the prices, it leaves a gap because the low ticket is too low, the high ticket is too high. So then there's that space in between where there's nothing to really sell. That's a mid-ticket. It's literally in the middle. So here's an example. Let's say your high ticket offer is $4,000 and you allow payment plans. The lowest you'll take in a payment plan is $2,000 down. Now let's say you start to get too many people and you need to raise the price because you can't fulfill for everyone. So you raise the price to $6K, this time with a minimum of $4K down, and let's say the low ticket is $100 a month. Now all of a sudden, all those people that could have paid $2,000, now they have nothing to buy. The $100 a month is too cheap for someone that could pay $2,000, and the $4,000 is too much because they only have $2,000. So the solution is to add a mid-tickets, which can be literally like the same thing except a group coaching version, or quite literally the exact same one-on-one, but just a weaker guarantee, something like that. And then you accept $2,000 or $2,000 down or whatever it is. That's simple. That's a mid-ticket. Okay. Next part, hopefully you guys are following along super well. Quick recap what I've covered. Payment processing, CRM, choosing between Discord, School, what type of community to make, all the different types of offers you could do, all the different types of upsells. I'm fucking cranking through this. It's been like 20 minutes so far. I've already gotten through all of that. Boom. And then guys, look how much more I have to go through. This is so fucking juiced out. Next thing I'm going to go over is a landing page. Do you need a landing page? How do you make a landing page? All of this. So landing page. First of all, for a low ticket, you almost always need a landing page, and the landing page is almost always identical for every single low ticket. I barely change anything, okay? So all you need on it is hero text, so a big call to action text at the top, subtext, so some text underneath, a VSL, this is the most important thing, a video sales letter. This is the video that people watch and then it makes them want to buy it. It's as simple as that. And then a button to pay and just a wall of results and screenshots and all of that underneath. Now, for the high ticket, it's the exact same thing, but the only difference is it's a button to apply, and it usually goes to a type form rather than just a button to pay. You don't want to sell high ticket with just a button. No one's just going to watch a video and spend $5,000. They need to talk to someone. They need more information, okay? And in many cases, I'll only use a type form. I won't even do a landing page. I'll just do a type form. So I'm going to talk about type form first. So this is what my type form looks like. I have like 10 questions on it. So I only have more questions. Usually I recommend like 4 to 6 questions. I only have more than that because I can't work with everyone because of my guarantee. And most offers are infinitely scalable, so you don't need to qualify as hard. But of course mine, I have, a stronger guarantee. It's harder for me to fulfill. So like I need to actually be working with qualified people. And to give you guys context, if you don't know, basically my guarantee is I give you a creator. So it's a creator I close through my acquisition systems. I have the call with them. I agree on a percentage with them. And then I will give that creator to a mentee and we'll run them up together. So obviously that mentee can't just be some random guy with a few $1,000. It needs to be someone that can actually run up the offer and that is competent enough to learn everything and be active with it and be communicating with the creator daily. Like, it's not something that a random person can do. And obviously, I don't want to waste the creator lead either. I keep a % of the creator as well that I bring. So it's like, it's in my best interest that the creator does well. So I can't just give it to a random person. So that's the only reason I have more questions. But in most offers, you want between 4 and 6. So here's what you want to gather. The information, so first of all, the name, number, email, location, age, just basic information. Location and age are extremely important because if someone doesn't have the money up front, this will give you the information you need to know if they can be financed. So like I said before, they can pay it off like a couple $100 a month and you get paid the entire amount in full, but only if they're in the US and only if they're over 18. And of course they need like a good enough credit score. So location and age is going to help a lot. Now, niche related questions. What is their current experience in whatever the business model is, and what are they currently struggling with? This will give you everything you need to know about what their struggles are, and what they're really looking to get out of mentorship or whatever the offer is. Budget, of course, how much are they able to invest, and how much are they making currently, and how much do they want to be making. So of course, budget questions are necessary if you're charging something up front, because you don't want to waste your time talking to people that have a cheeseburger to their name. You know what I mean? Like, they need money if they want to get into it. And then last thing is just a question before booking. Preface them so that they only book if they're serious and they know they will show up to the call. This will bring your no-shows down, that sort of thing. And then this is what a fully filled out type form looks like when you actually have people applying and that sort of thing. So type form is almost its own CRM as well. And let me say something real quick, guys, about booking calls and all that stuff. So usually I have just a Calendly at the end of the type form. So if they're qualified, it'll redirect to a Calendly. Let me full screen for this. You only want to let people book up to 48 hours in advance. Maybe 3 days, maybe 72 hours, but in most cases, 48 hours. Okay, what this does is if you let someone book a month in advance, they're going to book a call, and then they're going to forget about it, and they're not going to show up. Like, no one's going to show up to those calls, and even if they do show up, like, they already forgot about it. They don't even want to work with you anymore. So you got to get them while they're hot. When they want to work with you, when they're motivated to do so, you got to make sure that they book within a couple days of that. Book as soon as possible. Like, even in some cases, like, it's great if you can let them book same day because they're ready to go. You know, you want to keep them before they get cold feet and they just don't really want to do it anymore, because people move on from things super, super quickly. So you want to capture them while they have their interest at the absolute max. So that's the most important thing with making sure that people actually show up to the calls. And then, of course, just reminding them, sending them, you know, a couple reminder texts, a couple reminder emails, reaching out to them personally on iMessage or WhatsApp, whatever it is, and being like, hey, just making sure, you know, you booked a call, we still have the call today. Like, it's as simple as just shooting over a quick text so that they don't forget about the call. Because it sucks when you have someone book a call, someone's interested, and then they forget about it, they don't show up, and it's really your fault. Don't ever blame it on the prospect. Now, when it comes to the actual landing page itself, let me talk about the VSL first. So here's an example landing page, testimonials up there. Like I said, we got the hero text, we got the subtext, VSL, button, testimonials, all that. So here's what the VSL needs to include. First, it needs to call out the demographic, so exactly who you're speaking to. You need to identify exactly what your target demographic is. You need to explain to them what they're going to gain from watching the video, okay? You need to story tell to get to the pitch, so you can't just go straight into the pitch. You need to tell a story, you need to explain, you need to just really talk about the business model, but tell it as a story. It's harder to explain than it is to do. And then a full pitch of what they're going to get. Obviously, they need to know exactly what they're going to be getting out of this. And then objection handle. This is the biggest thing. You want to cover as many objections from these people as possible before they ever get on a call or anything like that. And you can literally just do this through ChatGPT. You can open up ChatGPT and be like, hey, this is the type of offer I'm selling. What are the objections that people could have? And it'll give you a list of like dozens of objections that people might have to your offer. And it's as simple as just incorporating those into the VSL, and then boom, you're just clear. You're giving them all the information they need, clearing any doubts. You're doing all that before they even book a call or anything. And everyone always asks how long it should be. Just depends on the offer, depends on the niche, depends on if it's a low ticket or high or low quality or high quality demographic, but usually between 7 and 30 minutes long. Now, as far as landing page itself, here it is. Usually, I mean not usually, but sometimes it might include a feature section. So depending on the offer, for example, I have a creator that has like some sort of app incorporated into the offer, so we have like a little section for that on the landing page. So in some cases like that, if it's a little bit more complex, something you need to explain, you can incorporate some sort of features section or something like that on the website. And you can also add a pop-up as a lead magnet. I would never do a separate landing page as a lead magnet or anything like that, because then you have multiple links in bio and it just gets confusing. What's way better is doing one link in bio. That's the only link they need. And you can just do a pop-up. There's been no cases where I've seen a pop-up reduce the amount of conversions or anything like that, as long as you don't make it look spammy or anything like that. As long as you make it clean, you can easily just add a pop-up for the lead magnet to collect emails and phone numbers, and that's it. You don't need to complicate this with a bunch of landing pages and that sort of thing. Now, Clickfunnels. How do you set up the domain, the funnel, the page, adding the elements, desktop, mobile only? I build all my landing pages through Clickfunnels. I hate go high level for like landing pages and shit, even though sometimes I have to use it because it's just easier to keep everything in one place. Clickfunnels is my absolute favorite for building landing pages, so I'm going to kind of show you guys what that looks like and how to do it. So first things first, when you create a ClickFunnels page, all you need to do is create a funnel first. So then you open up the funnel. And then inside of the actual funnel is where you can create the pages. And then this page is also where you can add stuff. So you can create the page itself, and then you can also add emails that get sent out when they opt in. You add all of this on here. This example I'm showing you doesn't have any of that, but this is where you add all of that. And then the actual page itself, you just go to edit, and then you're in the page editor. Now this is a lot simpler than it looks. So literally you have all the elements here. All you do is you go to add elements, and then that's where you can pick headline, subheadline, video, all of that stuff. Like, it's very, very simple. ClickFunnels can be a little bit buggy, I'm not gonna lie, with moving things around and whatever, but that's how you add everything. And then as far as the actual settings, you can choose everything here, the font, all that bullshit. Like, it's super easy. The only thing you guys really need to know, there is a desktop version, and then if you click up here, there's a mobile version. So there's two versions of your website. You need to basically duplicate all the elements on the website twice. So you see how this says mobile only, and then this one says desktop only. These are two completely different elements, two completely different websites. You can basically have a completely different website on mobile than you have on desktop, but that's how you optimize it. You literally duplicate it, and then when you go to it, right down here in the bottom right, you can set it to mobile only, desktop only, or all. So it's the same on both pages. That's how you set this up, and you're able to optimize it. And then really the last thing you need to know is how to set up your domain, which is extremely simple. All you do is go click on domain and ClickFunnels. Ideally you want your domain on like GoDaddy or something that's compatible, because you can just click one button, sign in, and then it will just link it all together. You don't have to do shit. So that's how you make a ClickFunnels landing page. It's literally the fucking easiest thing in the world. Anyhow, moving back over to the Miro board. So where were we? Okay. ClickFunnels landing page just covered all that. That's pretty much everything when it comes down to building a landing page, building a type form, setting up the community. Like, it might sound simple or it might not sound simple, but it really is like a simple task. You just have to know what you're doing. Boom, there you go. That's most of that side of things covered. Now, what's left to cover is this. First of all, how do you launch the offer? How do you create a content plan, content schedule? Like, what is gonna work best for them to be constantly bringing in new leads? And then of course, my entire sales sequence, all of that, and then what I'm actually doing personally, what I'm focused on right now. So going into launching the offer next. This is where it starts to get interesting. So you've got everything built out. You built out the landing page, the type form, whatever it is. Now it's actually time to launch the offer and get people inside. So first of all, a build-up sequence. This is pretty much what this entire part is if you want to do a whole build-up, hype-up, whatever. So you can really only do a hyped-up launch through Instagram. It's hard to do it on any other platforms, mostly because they don't have like stories or anything like that, but Instagram stories is just the best way to do this, quite literally. Now, hyping up a launch is not necessary whatsoever. You can just launch it and promote it moving forward via organic content. You don't need to like do some hyped up launch. You can just incorporate it into the content and go from there. But if they're getting a ton of DMs of people asking them to sell something and there's really just like a ton of interest already built up, then I would hype this up. Now, here's how you do it. So you want to hype it up like one week prior. You can literally have them start hyping it up before anything's made. So you close them and then you just give them something to do. So it'd be like throughout the week, you need to be hyping it up, posting stories. You don't have to do a specific launch date or anything like that. You just need to start teasing the product and getting people interested. Here's how you do it. You do it through Instagram Lives, Instagram Stories, and Instagram Reels. So for Instagram Reels, they just need to incorporate some sort of call to action into their content organically. If they don't do that into the actual video content themselves, then they can also just do a caption with some sort of automation trigger. So here's what that looks like. The goal is to collect as many emails and phone numbers as possible. So you can do this through a separate landing page that you use in the meantime, which can be a free lead magnet. So you're just collecting people free lead magnet, or it can literally just be a waitlist for launch. You can literally just be like, you're gonna receive an email when it launches, sign up for the waitlist. Either or, obviously a lead magnet, if they're actually getting something, it's gonna work a little bit better. And then you can do a ManyChat call to action. So if you guys don't know, ManyChat is a software you can set up through Instagram, where if you've ever seen in those bios where it's like, DM me this word to get whatever, that's ManyChat. Okay, you can have word automation triggers that will automatically send a person a DM, whatever it is. So you can actually collect their email through the automation and have it added to your CRM automatically. So not a lot of people know this, but say for example, you have a lead magnet. It says, DM me the word now to claim this, whatever it is. Okay, and then they DM that, and then it says, hey, I'm gonna send that over to you, what's your email? And then it can detect if their response is actually a valid email or not. And then once it gives a valid email, it'll obviously send that over. It'll trigger the next message that gets sent, and it will automatically add that email into your CRM, and it grabs their first name from their profile. So you can literally build your email list just through ManyChat without them ever having to enter it on a landing page. They can just type it in an Instagram DM, and it goes into your CRM. So then once you actually launch, you do an email blast, pretty obvious. Now, the number one question I get asked is, do you hire setters or closers for launch? Like, how does it work? Now, this really depends on the size of the offer, and if you know it's going to do crazy volume, whatever it is. If it's a low ticket top of funnel, no, you don't need that. If it's a high ticket though, and that's going to be your main launch, is launching something high ticket to like a public audience, you can kind of gauge if you need closers or setters based on a type form. So you can run a type form, and based on the type form, you can see how many responses it gets, how many are qualified. Like, you're going to know exactly what type of volume you're going to be working with, and that's how you know if you need a setter or a closer. Most cases, I just do that stuff I just do it myself at the start. I'll just do the closing and all that myself, just so we can start to get some revenue in the door. And it's a lot easier than having to hire a setter or a closer when you don't have an established offer. And I'm about to go into how to hire a setter or closer and what they need in order to want to work with you. I'm about to go into all that. But yeah, most cases, bro, you can just run it up yourself. You don't need to hire someone for that yet until it gets a little bit more scaled. All right, the last section of this, post-launch. So I've gone over everything you need to set up for the launch, everything you need to set up in the back end. Okay, then I've gone over how to hype up the launch, how to actually push the launch. And now, after you've launched, here's the 3 things we're gonna go over. First of all, my current strategy, so what I'm doing most, my entire sales sequence, so every little step in the entire sales process I'm going over, and then also providing that organic growth framework. So this is exactly how many times it should post on what platforms and all of that. I'm about to go over all of this next. Okay, so post-launch, I'm gonna start with providing the organic growth framework. So this is exactly what you gotta give them in order to keep them posting and going. They just need to be congruent on all platforms. Even if they're only getting all their leads from one platform, they need to be posting on every platform just so people can see their activity. And if anything, it's just gonna nurture them into buying. So these are the main platforms: Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, X, whatever you wanna call it. I still call it Twitter. But these are the 4 main platforms they need to be posting on. So we'll start over here with Instagram. First of all, they need an optimized profile, so the link in the bio, the username as their real name. Obviously, if they're like some massive creator, I don't even mean like the username, I mean like the display name. The profile pic is a picture of their face, ideally meta verified. ManyChat keyword in their bio, not 100% necessary, just depends on exactly how hard you're pushing the offer. And then optimized stories and highlights. They need to have some highlights on there. Now, this is what they post. So first of all, stories. They need to be posting 2 stories a day, every single day, so 7 times a week. That's really it. They can post more than that, but at least 2, and that can be student results, updates, their daily life, and then obviously call to actions. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen close friends stories on Instagram. You might get added to one from an influencer or creator, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not this guy's friend, you know what I mean? I hate to break it to you guys, but it's just a bot. There's literally just a software that will add every single follower to their close friends. And obviously when you post on there, it gets way more views. Literally, the story views will 4x. If you keep posting every single day, you only post there, then it's not gonna have that effect anymore. But the first time you do it, you're gonna get 4 times the amount of story views. So ideally, you want them posting on their close friends 1 to 2 times a week. And guys, when they post on close friends, it puts it at the very start and like keeps it up there. So everyone clicks on it. But on there, you can post like some behind the scenes stuff. And then I like to save it for big call to actions, whether it's a launch or whatever it is, save it for that. Because, 4 times more people will see it. Now, Instagram lives 2 to 4 times a week. Not every creator is willing to do this, but if they are, it farms leads like crazy. So they can just do a casual Q&A, whatever. But the biggest thing is a ManyChat automation call to action. So not a lot of people know this, but you can also set up ManyChat to trigger an automation based on them sending a word inside of Instagram Live. So they can type a word in the live chat and it will DM them. And you can also just pin your own comment saying, comment this word on the live. So that farms leads like crazy, and of course it nurtures. People think, it's much more personal than watching a reel or something. And of course reels, 5 to 7 reels a week. They want to continue their content style, but also incorporate some type of call to action into it. So whatever it is, if it's in the caption or if it's in the video itself, whatever it is, they need to be posting that much, and they need to be referencing it or doing a call to action as much as possible. Now, Twitter. This one's a lot simpler. An optimized profile, so the link in bio, username is the real name, profile pic is a pic of their face, same stuff. You can also get the blue check on Twitter. It'll look much better if you have it. Tweets, 2 to 3 tweets a day, every single day. This can be results, lifestyle photos, thoughts, opinions, whatever it is. Twitter is kind of a free-for-all platform. The biggest thing to grow if they have a small Twitter is replies. Literally 30 to 50 replies every single day. You can even do this for them if you want. You can hire a VA to do it, whatever. It doesn't have to be thought out replies. It just needs to be volume of replies every single day, 30 to 50. That's how you're going to grow at the start to get people to even see your tweets in the first place. YouTube, so optimized profile. You want the link in the video descriptions. You can also set this on all their old videos. So you can actually go and select all their old videos and update the description on every single video. You can add it at the top, however you want to do it. You can replace the whole description with a link, however you want to do it, but you can add it to all their old videos too, so that every video has the call to action. A longer bio about them, so this literally just means your YouTube bio should be a paragraph kind of giving more details about themselves. It's not like a super short Instagram bio, it's different on YouTube. The username is their real name, profile pic is pic of their face, same stuff there. Videos, they got to be posting at least once a week, 1 to 3 times per week. I'm posting like 3 times per week right now at the time I'm making this video. But YouTube is just crazy. Like any creator, any niche can just make so much money from YouTube. So you got to run up YouTube. You got to have them running it up. And those videos mostly should be value-based. You can also incorporate lifestyle. So for example, if you're doing a vlog or something, like I do a lot of day in the life stuff, I also have value in there. So I have times where I just sit down and talk to the camera for a couple minutes and drop some game. Like you need a balance. You can't just post only lifestyle. No one gives a shit about that. You need to be providing value. That's what people really care about. And that's what's going to make people want to give you their money and learn from you. Like not just fucking lifestyle. No one wants to just watch you flex all day long. You should aim for at least 10 minutes long for literally all those YouTube videos. Lastly is TikTok. Same thing, link in bio, username, profile pic. Now, TikToks, 5 to 7 a week, pretty much same thing as Reels. Continue, the same content style, but somehow incorporate a call to action, which would, in this case, would just be like link in bio because you can't do many chat. And now lives. Lives on TikTok also rip, mostly because the difference between an Instagram live is an Instagram live, just your followers are going to see it. The TikTok lives, if you're live for a couple hours, it can end up getting pushed out to thousands. You could really have thousands of live viewers from a couple hundred originally, just because you stayed on live and it just starts getting pushed out like crazy. So you can farm leads like crazy from TikTok live. So there you go. This is the content framework you need to be giving to your creators. Next, I'm gonna go through the sales sequence. So this is my full sales sequence revealed. I've never posted this before, never revealed this before, so I just want to make sure it's fucking recording and shit before I dive into all this sauce. Guys, this is literally the exact sales sequence I use to run multiple 6-figure per month high-ticket offers. Like this is full sauce, everything revealed. This is exactly what to do when you get no-showed, when someone ghosts, when every little thing that could happen on a closing call or with a setter and everything. I'm covering all of it right here, right now. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Let me switch my camera back. Here we go. So first of all, hiring closers and setters. I told you guys I'd help you with this. So here's what a closer or a setter needs. Mostly a closer. A setter, like that's easy. But a closer, they need an established, irresistible offer. So a good offer to sell. It can't just be some fucking $500 drop shipping course. They need a good offer with a good guarantee, that sort of thing. They need full knowledge and belief in the product, okay? And solid lead flow. So no one's gonna want to be a closer when you have one call a day. You know what I mean? Like it needs to be able to be a full-time thing for them. Now at my level, I already have sales reps that I work with and I put them on any offer I run up, so I don't need to search for new ones. But in your case, if you need new ones and you're not working with me, you can't use mine, then you can find them on Twitter, on Instagram. Also sales programs have them, so there's other programs. There's literally communities of salespeople you can join for $100 a month, and then you get access to hundreds of other people that are doing the exact same thing. So there you go. Now, real quick, I want to say this. Pick and choose what to use in the sequence based on how scaled the offer is. So like, for example, my offer, I don't even have a setter or a closer or anything like that. I take all the calls myself. I do all that myself just because I prefer it that way. Now, take every little piece of this with a grain of salt. Like, you just need to apply it to your offer. Like, some of these things are super pushy sales tactics. Others aren't, but like, you just need to be able to know which parts of this to use in your offer, which ones not to, if you need to apply urgency or whatever. It just depends how scaled your offer is. If you're at my level where, You're only working with qualified, specific people. Like, you don't really need to use any of these urgency sales tactics or any of that. But if it's a massive offer doing dozens of sales calls a day, then you want to, optimize that to every little 0.1% that you can. So that stuff is going to help you at that point. But just look at everything with that lens. So we'll start off with high ticket is top of funnel. So by the way, when I say top of funnel, I just mean like that's what you're pushing people towards first. So high ticket is top of funnel, goes to a landing page and then the type form with an apply button. Now here's what it looks like. So let's say we'll start with qualified. So we'll say they're qualified, which means you want to sell them a high ticket. First, they're going to be prompted to book a call. If they don't book a call, you want to wait 10 minutes and then text them, okay? So just make sure it's not them sitting there booking a call. You wait 10 minutes. If they still haven't booked, they probably clicked off of it by now. Now you need to text them and be like, yo, book. If they don't respond to that, wait 6 hours, then text again and ring them. You can ring them once or twice. Again, the whole point of this is just to be like, yo, I noticed you didn't book a call, but you filled out the form. Would you need the link again? Super simple. Now, once they book the call, when they get on the call, they either convert, so they're closed, done, moving on, or they don't convert. That goes into these 4 things. So there's 4 possibilities if they don't convert. The first possibility is you still got them to put down some sort of deposit. Now, if they put down a deposit, it'll be a non-refundable, holy shit, I can't speak, a non-refundable deposit of at least $500, and you also want to schedule the next meeting on call. So usually this will be something like, hey, I don't have the money right now, but I'll have it in a couple of weeks. So in that case, you're like, okay, like if you want to do it, then we can just put down a deposit now, we can get started, and you schedule the next call for when they're able to pay the rest of the money. So that's what that is. And then you can also send them follow-up emails, texts of case studies, testimonials, student results, all of that. You just want to blast them with all that so they can, just be ultra confirmed that this is what they want to do. Now, the follow-up. So here we go. This is for people that didn't close, but also didn't deposit, but are still like, yeah, hit me up in like a week, I'll be ready, that sort of thing. So ideally, you want to schedule the next meeting on the call or choose a date on the call for a follow-up text. So if they don't want to book the call, then be like, okay, let me know what day to reach out to you again, that sort of thing. And then it's the same thing, follow up with emails, texts, case studies, all that stuff. If they don't close for whatever reason, then same thing, you just want to keep sending them that stuff until they eventually are like, all right, let's do it. Like, let's call, I'm ready now. They see the results. They know other people are successful with it, and they just want to take the next step. And then, of course, the last thing is if they don't even show up to the call, simply email and text to reschedule the lead. And then after that, if they still don't book or whatever it is, follow up with case studies, all of that. And then if they ghost, they're still not answering, then you can call them, you can text them, you can email them, all of that stuff. There you go. Now, let me go back here. So on the unqualified side, if they filled out the form and they don't have the money for a high ticket, which means they're not going to get sent to book a call with a closer or whatever it is, then this is what happens. Clear my throat. So this is at this point, you downsell a low ticket. So the lead is first directed to a low ticket purchase page with a VSL rather than being redirected to a Calendly. Now, at this point, you can check the country and the age, which means, if, like I said, US 18 plus, they could be approved for financing. And if they can, this is where you DM them, ask about their credit score or whatever. And then if they have a credit score, they could be financed. That's when you book them in a call and they go back into this whole thing that we just went over. So they could potentially be qualified even if the type form technically doesn't qualify them. Now, after they go to the low ticket purchase page, they either buy or they don't buy. Here's what happens. If they don't buy from the purchase page, they're going to be put into a low ticket email list, assuming we collected their information from the pop-up, and then they'll just be nurtured through there until they eventually buy. Or you can have a closer reach out via SMS to close them on a low ticket. And I say a closer because usually all I'm doing is just like taking a community member and being like, yo, if you can get these people to join, I'll give you this percentage. Like you're not going to get like a super crazy good closer that's going to be want to text for a $20 commission, So that's the only reason I put like optional and closer in quotes. Now, let's say they do convert, they do buy on the landing page. This is when they go into the post-onboarding upsell funnel. So obviously after they've already received the product, gotten in the community, whatever it is, this is when you start to lead them into being upsold. So first they get put into the low ticket upsell email list, which obviously is going to have emails related to that. The setter will reach out to qualify their budget and book them into a call. So this setter's whole job is to figure out exactly what their budget is, if they have money to invest, if they want to invest, and then book them into a call. Now, if they don't end up booking a call, same thing, you can just call them, you can keep texting them, you can email them, whatever it is until they do. Now, if they do book a call it's pretty much the exact same sequence I just ran through, okay? They either convert, or they put a deposit, or they need to be followed up, or they don't show, or they don't close, whatever it is. This is identical to what I just went over. There's that whole part covered for if you have a high ticket as your top of funnel. Now let's say it's a low ticket as top of funnel. Here we go. First, you've got the landing page. Then you collect their info from a pop-up. You have the VSL to purchase, okay, which is the same thing we were just talking about. Now on that, they either buy or they don't buy. So if they don't buy, same thing I just said before, they get put into a low ticket email list, and then you can have someone reach out if they don't buy. And then if they do buy, it's literally the exact same thing I went over. You begin to upsell them if they do buy. So it's literally the exact identical funnel, except minus the whole, that whole type form aspect. And instead of that, it's literally just sending people straight through a landing page and seeing if they buy the low ticket. That's that whole sales sequence. So now you guys know, let me full screen myself. I mean, just look at how fat that is. Now you guys know exactly how I run my sales process and exactly how we're able to have such high conversion rates. And I even explained how we have such high show up rates. I had a tweet the other day where I explained like an offer, and I even made a video about this. It was my whiteboard video, but I like tweeted something about it, and some dude was like 84% show up rate. Like, that's not possible. And I had to explain like it actually is possible if you do all those things I told you earlier, which is number one, only letting people book up to 48 hours in advance. And really that's the number one thing, just so people don't get cold feet. And then of course, sending multiple email reminders, multiple text reminders, and reaching out to them personally with whoever's going to be talking to them, whether it's on WhatsApp, iMessage, actually sending them a text or a DM personally. So those are the most important things. Now, really the last thing to go over on this entire thing is my current strategy and exactly what I'm doing. But holy shit, guys, I just sauced all of you the fuck up. I've never put this much like effort into a Miro and putting so much stuff together, and really just like having to sit there and think about, what's in my brain and how I can put it onto here. But there you go. So this is my current strategy, and I kind of already went over it. So I low-key discovered kind of like an untapped biz op niche where most creators have less than 10,000 followers. They are usually on Instagram. None of them sell any type of high ticket. They all only sell a low ticket, and most of them with around 10,000 followers have 150 to 300 community members at $20 to $50 a month. Now, I can't say what niche it is yet, but I'm working on a case study right now. When I post the case study, I'm gonna reveal the niche and everything, and it is absolutely fat. So this is the strategy I'm using. All I'm doing is, by the way, if you're a mentee, you know what niche I'm talking about, and a lot of the creators I'm bringing are that niche. So what I'm doing is I'm setting up a type form for a high ticket offer. I'm onboarding setters and closers if needed. A lot of times it's not even necessary. I'm having a setter DM every single paid member that's in the low ticket community, running promo to all the group members, so posting in announcements or wherever the group is hosted. And then all it is they fill the type form, they go to a booked call, and then they get upsold on high ticket 101. Now imagine this, there's a community of hundreds of people that are paying a low ticket and they've never been sold a high ticket. It's as simple as just hopping in there, selling all those pre-existing customers that are already sold, they already trust the person, all of that, just selling them on a high ticket. It's that easy. I have a whole video that just broke this down as well, like numbers wise, how I broke it down. So watch that video too if you haven't already. But yeah, it's literally that simple. Now guys, if you want to fast track the business model, hopefully you guys get a lot of value from this video, but if you want to fast track the business model, I will give you a pre-closed creator and show you how I scale and automate my client acquisition. So that's my high ticket, guys, that I keep telling you guys about. I've referenced it a few times in this video, but literally how it works is I already told you I have two main clients I work with, but of course, just because of my brand and everything, I'm constantly getting referrals. I get a lot of people through outreach, that sort of thing. So I opened my own mentorship a few months ago, and literally you pay me up front and I bring you a completely pre-closed creator. I have the first call with them, and then the onboarding calls where you're looped in as my business partner, and we literally just run it up from there. I also keep a minority percentage of the creator I bring you. That's also why there's such a strict qualification process, and I can't just scale this infinitely and take on everyone, because like I don't want to burn the creator. I want to actually make money from the creator. I don't want to waste it. So that's why you have to at least be fucking competent, and that's kind of how I figure out if you're competent. It's the type form and then through the call we do together. So if that's basically what my offer is. Now let me pull this back up. So I started doing this a few months ago. This is exactly what you're going to get from it. So you're immediately going to have your first profitable creator. So you're going to have a creator that you know is going to make money. So you're going to quickly get a case study under your belt. We're going to run it up super quickly. You're going to know exactly how to set up all the systems I covered in this video. I do all that with you. We literally go on a call, we share screen, we set it up together. We get everything ready to actually launch the creator. And then of course, the goal is also to get you on outreach simultaneously. So you're going to start being able to bring on creators of your own without needing my help. So the whole goal is, once you do bring on creators yourself, you already know how to run up the back end. You already have a case study. You're not just going to fumble a creator because it's your first creator and you're just winging it. And you got past the outreach part, but now what? You don't know what the fuck you're doing. So that's the whole goal. So all in all, you want to be able to scale into multiple massive creators just like I've done. Also build a reputation just like I have. That brings in creators and opportunities on autopilot. And like I said, all of this happens simultaneously. I'm getting you on outreach. I'm bringing you a creator. We're running that up. We're doing it all at the same time. So it's meant to literally fast track, scale, fucking max speed. So this is not something that can be a side hustle. This is not something that you can do on the side. Whatever it is, bro, like you have to be all into this. So quick preface, don't fill out the type form or anything like that if you're not ready to fully take it seriously. But I have some pretty good case studies. I just posted these 2 videos super recently. 0 to 60K in 4 months, that was Maheen. 0 to 30K in 3 months, that was James. You guys can watch those mentee interviews as well. You can also just check out my highlight on Instagram. I have tons of results I post on there. But yeah, and here's just a massive collage of just my own personal results, whether it was a creator I was working with or a mentee or whatever it was, just a ton of results. So I've got results everywhere. I've got case studies. I've got mentee interviews. I have literally everything. And it pretty much answers all your questions and shows that I know what the fuck I'm doing, especially because I've been doing this for so long. You can literally look back on my videos from over a year ago, almost 2 years ago. Two years ago is now, holy shit, I can't speak. Almost 2 years ago now of going over my own case studies from my own Discord that I did. Like, I know what the fuck I'm doing. I've been doing this for a long time. There's no one else that does it better. There's also no one else that has an offer like that where they will literally give you a creator. There's just nothing that will fast track you like that will. But if you don't want to do that, guys, like I said, I have a full course on how I onboard or how I get creators in the first place through outreach. And now I have this full course showing how I actually run up creators once I do close them. So I provide all this sauce just on my YouTube just for you guys to check out. So hopefully you enjoy that. If you do enjoy that and you appreciate that, feel free to subscribe. If you have any questions at all, comment them down below, or feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. I answer all the comments. I answer all my Instagram DMs, any questions you have. Any questions about the mentorship, hit me in my Instagram DMs as well. And yeah, if you're interested in working with me, fill out the type form. If you're qualified, we'll get on a call and we'll see if it makes sense. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the entire video. So I hope you enjoyed. Again, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.